Always great having my next guest on the show. It's Chris El Guapo Gutierrez, who had another big win, this time at UFC Vegas 81, a unanimous decision victory over Alatengheli. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. And I got to tell you, man, my legs actually hurt just from watching your performance over Haley. You just keep blasting people, fight in and fight out with your signature leg kick. I feel like that had to have been the game plan coming in here against Alatang. Am I right?
I mean, yes and no. It's not like that's the only thing. You know what I mean? It was just, it ain't broken, don't fix it. So I tell you what though, my legs hurt too. My feet hurt right now.
I could just imagine. I believe if I have the numbers correct, you landed 56 leg kicks in that fight. When you see what happened to Anderson Silva and then Chris Weidman later on, does that ever get into your head when you're throwing so many leg kicks? Because those injuries are brutal to watch.
Uh, I mean, yeah, but you can't like have that mindset because then it'll probably happen.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, but our kick setups are a little different. We don't really, that's at least my opinion. Our setups are a little bit different, so um, and I try not to throw them like naked. I don't just try to throw just a random kick out of anger or something.
And obviously, your teammate and friend Jonathan Martinez, same deal. He blasted Yanez's leg in his win same night. Is it really just something about Factory X and the way that you guys are setting up these leg kicks that are just so devastating?
Yeah, for sure. I think we we I mean we drill a lot. We train a lot at the gym, and but I think a lot of it is just I don't know. I've heard Mike Tyson say a lot where he says some people either they're born a puncher or they have to develop that. I think with me and Jonathan, or as far as for me, I think we're kind of like genetically built for kicking. You know what I mean? And we come from a soccer background, and I'm sure all that helps. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. That makes sense. Now, I do understand that you broke your toe in the fight. When did that happen, and did it affect your mobility at all?
Oh man, yeah, it was weird. I felt this like sharp pain in my toe, and it was kind of like crooked. And I remember whenever I he, I remember when he said I kicked him low, and I was like, no, 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 I didn't. And I looked at my foot and I stepped on it, and I heard it crunch back, and I was like, okay, we're back in play. But yeah, for a split second, it was like dislocated or broken, or I popped it back.
Wow, jeez. So this happened earlier in the fight.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly. Maybe end of the second,
Okay.
middle of the second. I know by the third round, I started feeling a little better, a little more. But yeah, ain't nothing to it.
Yeah, I have to imagine with the adrenaline pumping through your veins, during the middle of a big fight like that, maybe it doesn't affect you like it does afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. The adrenaline does help a lot, but you can also feel those little things, those annoying little pains in there. We're we're fighting, so we're always going to be a little bit hurt
Mhm.
during certain things.
Now you had a clean sweep on the judges' scorecards, 30-27. Really a great performance over a tough fighter. What were the adjustments that Coach Mark Montoya and your team wanted you to make it in the fight?
um with the adjustments that what do you mean, like during the fight or for the switch of the opponent?
Yeah, well, I guess both. I mean, during the fight, it seemed like things were going your way. You were controlling the pace. You were doing your thing. Were there any adjustments in fight that you needed to make, or was everything just pretty much going smooth like you had planned?
No, there was some adjustments that had to be done on the fly. um but that's what we train for. As far as what, just like it's hard to explain it, like certain like the way he was positioned when he was gonna throw certain attacks, I I wanted to be positioned in a certain way where it was beneficial for me, not him.
Mhm.
And those were just little adjustments that we were like talking throughout the fight. He would say something and I would answer back, or I'd be like, no, I don't want that one, or no, I'm not seeing it. But that's how I think that's one of the things that we did really good this camp was um, kind of really listening to each other and the feedback we give each other and stuff like that, and just really honing into it. My training, really, and sticking to the game plan and just doing the things that I needed to do to get the victory.
Now, according to Michael Bisping, he was saying that, Alatong's best weapons were his big right hand and his left hook. Is that something that, you were very cognizant of, throughout the fight?
Well, of course, he was he was punching to knock my head off, and he got really close on a couple. So I just had to be aware at all times, and I had to make sure, I was aware of where I was at, my surroundings, and just the best way I can say is like positioning myself in a good spot to be, so I can deliver and he wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're in the top 15 now. You're ranked number 15. I don't know if the new rankings have come out and you've already moved up, but what was the energy like just, for the Factory X guys that were there in the building? Because you had this big fight, obviously, Jonathan, I mean, a lot of going on here for the Factory X guys. What was the energy like on fight night?
Oh man, just feeding off each other and just, very positive and talking through, what we're feeling. If you're feeling anxious, you're feeling afraid, you're feeling scared, all these are normal things that you're going to feel. I just think, able to verbalize some of that. But more importantly, man, just kind of like trusting what you're doing at practice, like trusting the process, in other words, and just really, really submitting to that. And, it could go wrong, but at the same time, that's where I guess your creativity comes into play while you're listening to your coaches and, okay, let me put this in there next time. Let me put that in there. Or let me take this out. Let me, I didn't like that movement. Let me think of, let me do this one. The other coach is saying this. I didn't like the first one. I got hit. You know what I mean? So all these things go through your mind at 100 miles an hour. And you have to learn to pick them out very fast and adjust on the fly.
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance?
I'm sorry?
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance?
Oh man, I'm my own worst critic, man. I'm trying to I'm trying to give myself a little bit more loving, So I don't know. I would say a 5, but I'll give myself a 7.
Okay.
I'll give myself some grace. There's always room for improvement, but I didn't get the stoppage, and that's what I wanted. So I give myself a 7.
Fair enough. You told Michael Bisping in the Octagon post fight that, you don't want to be fighting on these prelims anymore. You're a ranked fighter. Do you think that message got across after this performance that you won't be fighting on the prelims your next time out?
Guess we'll find out. Maybe, I don't know. That's way above my pay grade. I don't decide that. I would like, hopefully, they're like, yeah, maybe we should put him back on the main card. But, I use it as fuel too. I took that as disrespect a little bit. And, winning 8, 9 fights and then you lose one and back to the prelims you go. I was a little sour about it.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine. So let me ask you too, just how good is Jonathan Martinez? I got to be honest with you, Chris, going into that fight with Adrian, I wasn't sure, who I thought was going to win. I thought it was 50-50. I mean, both of those guys are so talented, right? How good is Jonathan Martinez?
I mean, you saw it, right? I mean, he showed it in front of the world to see. He's that good. Yeah, I mean, he's a gangster at it. I like it. I like his style.
Of course, yeah. And he's got to be like one of your very main training partners, right?
Yeah, he's one of my main training partners, but we got a bunch of other people. We got Yusuf, Brandon, Markel, Luis, we a lot of other ones, but yeah, he's one of my main ones.
Mhm. I just interviewed Markel the other day. He had an impressive performance, and now he's in the UFC. When are we going to see Yusuf back in there? I feel like he's done enough to get back in the big show.
That's the magic question, right? When are we going to see Yusuf in the UFC? Hopefully soon, man. He's definitely a different fighter than when he first got in, and we all learned some lessons in those during that run. And yeah, I'm excited for Yusuf when he comes back to the UFC. I know he'll get another shot. He was young when he got in, like 22 years old when he got in. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, he was a kid. He was a kid in a man's sport. Now he's developed and he's matured. So, like I said, I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
Hopefully
him back
soon.
in. Yeah,
Hopefully
I think
soon.
it's gonna happen. I'm with you, man. I think it's gonna happen. Tell me, what was the celebratory meal post fight? Where'd you guys go? What'd you guys eat?
Oh, we went to Fogo de Chao, little Brazilian little Brazilian steakhouse. I kept it simple though. I went to Burger King. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. We went to go eat some steak.
Okay. That sounds good. That's what I would want to do myself. Did you get a
No,
chance to watch any of the other fights? I mean, that main event between Barbosa and Yusuf was insane.
yeah. Did watch that fight. Crazy, right? One minute is going one way, the next is going the other. Yeah, I think Barbosa showed why he's still in the top, and I like Edson, man. He's a trooper.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend of the sport. Someone that's been around for a while. Fan friendly style. It's always exciting watching him compete. Tell me, it's been a little while since I've spoken with you last, and obviously you guys are always evolving at Factory X. Can you kind of point to one thing that kind of makes Coach Mark Montoya stand out from maybe other coaches that you had in the past? Like, what is it about him specifically that's so special?
Um, I I mean, my first coach was good. His name was Rob, down in Texas. He was a good guy. He taught me everything. Got me to where I needed to be. So when I finally went to Colorado, I went under Coach Mark's wings, and honestly, I think I had good mentorship even from the get. I think what it is finally got to a point where like I matured a little bit, and I was able to listen to some of like the life lessons that you don't want to hear when you're young. I just think that's what it is. I'm at a point in my life where it's just like it's all making sense. You know?
Mhm.
And so
Yep.
I think that's what it is. I think he's just he's a good-hearted person, uh, very family oriented. I think there's a lot of similarities that we got. We're both old school in certain ways. Um, we both don't like lazy people. Um, yeah, I just he's a good man to have in your life. Keeps you accountable, and just wants the best for you. He's not a person that wants to try to take from you, extort you for things. He wants to see, like, one of the main things he told me. I'll never forget this. He said, the first day I met him, as I was leaving his office, he said, "Well," he goes, "There's just one thing I want you to know." And I said, "Oh, okay, what's that?" And he said, "I'm interested in making a champion outside the cage first, then inside." I didn't realize what that really meant until, like, later in life, like now. And yeah, I needed that.
Yeah, because you got to be doing the things outside of the cage to show improvements inside of the cage, right?
Yeah, for sure. You cannot have a hectic life, a hectic personal life, and then expect that not to translate over into your career. You can get away with it for a little bit, and it catches up to you. It's just a lot. You have to be fully in tune to everything.
Mm.
It I don't know. When you're younger, you don't really think of that, right? You just wherever the wind blows, you're gonna go. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But I think now is just a little bit more mature, and yeah, I think we connect on a lot of different levels, spiritually, emotionally. I just, you know, I he's means a lot to me.
I love it. Great answer. Tell me, I'm so excited for UFC 296. Your teammate Brandon Royval is going to be taking on Alexander Pantoja for the title. How's Brandon looking in camp? What kind of a fight do you think we're going to see there come fight night?
Man, I always say Brandon's style is like turning on a blender. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just his style. Man, to be honest, he's so much a better fighter than what he was even his last fight. Uh, again, he's matured in his fighting career, and his in personally. So I think that just makes him a better athlete. I believe the belt's going to be back in Colorado in December. So not just saying that because he's my teammate, but yeah, I just know his work ethic and who he is as a man. And so yeah, man, I got all the great vibes going towards him, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see that fight. Hopefully, I get a chance to talk to him before that title fight goes down. Give me a couple picks for this weekend. Obviously, the rematch between Makhachev and Volkanovski for the 55 title, and then the co-main is Usman taking on Chimaev. Who do you see winning those fights?
Well, I think Volk won the first one, but you know what? Whatever. We get a chance to put a stamp on it this time. So I say we like I'm a part of the team. uh no, I mean I go for Volk. I like Volk. Um so I choose Volk, and then on Usman and Chimaev, I go for Usman.
Do you think he
I just
finishes Chimaev?
he can. He can. Listen, you can. Chimaev likes to run his mouth and I kill everyone. Yeah, you're human too. You feel punches just like everyone. Usman can put him away. So, hopefully, I know he's going to be talking shit this fight, but it's going to be a good fight for sure. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. So, like I said, I think we're the fans are the ones that win in this. We're in for a treat.
No doubt.
But I think Volk and Usman are going to get the job done.
All right. Where are you watching it? You going to be staying at home? It's an early start being in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Now, you said that you wanted the winner of Rob Font, Davis, and Figueiredo for your next fight. Who do you think wins that fight? And do you feel like realistically that will be your next opponent?
Or it could be the winner of Bautista and Simone. So there's another. I mean, listen, our division is so stacked. Like, it doesn't matter who you choose; it's going to be a hard fight. So, no, I'm just whatever challenge is next, I'll be ready for it.
Time frame. When do you hope that next fight will be?
Um, next like January, February, March time, beginning of the year.
All right. Mario and Simone fight January 13th. So if you fight the winner of that one, it might be pushed out a little ways. So it looks like Font Figueiredo, that could be the matchup. Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Rob Font. I think Rob Font. I think he knows how to manage distance better than Figueredo. Figueredo just runs in reckless. Mm-hmm. And but that same aggression has made him win. But I got Rob on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you too. Regardless of who the next opponent is, Chris, I'm excited to see you back in there. Again, congrats on your victory. You looked fantastic, man. Before we do sign off today, I want to give you the floor. If there's anything you want to plug, anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
You find me on social media, El Guapo MMA or Chris Gutierrez. To all my fans, thank you for the love and support. We got the job done this time. Until the next.